All right.
So the topic of today?
Today we said we're going to talk about holding grudges,
Ooh.
which is an interesting topic for a variety of reasons,
Yeah.
including, my personal stance on it at the moment, and
Yeah, you've
me
gone through a
holding
lot.
holding grudges against certain people.
Yeah.
The topic about holding grudges in general, right?
Mhm.
So, yeah, you mentioned that you don't hold grudges, which
I
I
don't hold
find,
grudges.
which I don't fully believe you, to be honest.
I honestly, I tend to forgive people really easily.
Uh-huh.
Not really easily, but I'm really racking my brain to think of a grudge that I hold against somebody. Um, and I know that one person I think holds a bit of a grudge against me,
Okay.
which makes me feel a little bit grudgy towards her, unjustified sort of grudginess towards her,
Uh-huh.
but it's more to do with the fact that she holds a grudge against me, and I'm like,
You're back-grudging.
I'm back-grudging. But just it's very minor. I wouldn't say that I actually hold a grudge against her.
Okay. Okay.
So, but honestly, I can't think of a single person that I hold a grudge against. And
Okay.
I mean, I think I do forgive easily, and I don't know if it's partly just my upbringing as a good Christian girl, where
Those were the days, huh?
those are the days. Anyway,
How things have changed.
how things have changed. But
Uh,
that was part of my upbringing as well, that you forgive, and forgiveness is very much part of the Christian faith, which I think
mm,
is a very positive thing. Um, and so, yeah, I think that it was a mindset thing from when I was very small.
mhm.
And so it's not to say that I think that anybody can do anything and, not be held accountable. That's not the same thing, but certainly I don't hold grudges.
Okay.
And I think in a way for me, a grudge is something that you hold against somebody else. And actually it doesn't necessarily have any negative consequence or negative impact on the other person. It only has a negative impact on you and your emotional well-being. So I don't really see the point of holding a grudge.
You might say if you hold a grudge and an act on it, that might have negative consequences for the other person.
Yes, it may well have negative consequences.
So I wouldn't necessarily
The
say
grudges
it's
can lead to a bit of revenge, maybe.
yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. So tell me more about your feeling of holding a grudge.
Holding a grudge. Well, for me, it's I have to say, I recently have had some experiences where, hello, it's me, hello,
Hello, good night. Hi.
where, let's be sad. No, so I recently had some experiences where, okay, let's start there. So I would say I'm somebody who definitely holds grudges. I
Okay.
admit it openly.
Okay.
And when I hold grudges against someone, it's for two reasons.
Yeah.
It's when I feel like that person is treating other people unfairly
Yeah.
or is treating me unfairly in
Yeah.
particular.
Oh, I just thought of a time that I do have a grudge.
You see?
But okay, yes, yeah. For that reason, yeah.
And so I don't hold a grudge against, so if someone does something that I don't like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But if someone is actively trying to harm me, hurt me, or hurt people that I love, like they're close to me,
Yeah.
or just in general, like if someone is a mean asshole to someone,
Mm-hmm.
that's when I can hold a grudge.
Yeah.
And that's also where that awakens my bear poking instinct, where I can then get very creative in retaliating.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's quickly go back to the grudge that you recently had, you said, or that you felt you had.
Yeah, the grudge is against an organization that I know has treated me very unfairly, has treated you very unfairly,
Yes,
and has treated a lot of other people very unfairly.
that's correct.
And we both know who you're talking about. But, you know, and I think it's just this organization that's got a culture of not respecting people, thinking that they're powerful, thinking that they can bully people. And that really pisses me off. And so there, I actually do have a grudge. And yeah, I would say that it probably would also bring out the bear poking side of me. Maybe not to the same extent as you, but certainly stirs up quite a bit of
Emotional reactions.
Yeah,
probably.
emotional reactions, but also just it makes me angry that they think that they can just treat people like that and act with impunity, and that there are no consequences for them as far as they're concerned. So that really pisses me off. But yeah, I think that that's one of the very few examples or areas in my life where I actually hold a grudge.
Okay.
And you?
Well, maybe let's talk about that other person that you said you were back-grudging.
Grudging. Well, I felt a little grudgy. Felt a little grudgy towards her for holding a grudge against me. Yeah, so I felt a little grudgy towards her because she was holding a grudge against me, and I think what often helps when you have that feeling towards somebody else is to kind of put yourself in that other person's shoes, or to try and understand their standpoint, and oftentimes that can give you a different perspective, and you can kind of think, okay, well, I can understand why they're upset or why they reacted like that, or that just acknowledge it to two sides to the story.
Yeah.
But when somebody can't extend that same grace to you, and then doesn't make an effort to clarify or to repair the relationship, it's a bit hurtful, I guess.
In that case, is it something that could have been solved, or there could be a resolution by talking to the other person?
I think that if she could have sat down and spoken to me about it, and just try to understand it a bit better from my perspective. The problem was that we were continents away from each other, trying to resolve a business conflict. And
although there's Zoom, there's phone calls, so
yeah, exactly. But also that kind of thing shouldn't be resolved through email, and I think that was the mistake that we both made. And then by then it had kind of gone too far. And so I feel like she was left holding a grudge against me. She couldn't understand my perspective. I was in a difficult situation. And so she felt a grudge, I think, towards me, which made me a little grudgy in response towards her, because I was like, oh, why can't you understand my perspective? I would have understood your perspective if you were in the same situation.
Gotcha.
So, and we'd been very good friends for a very long time. So I think that was the unfortunate reality. So actually, I probably have to take back that I don't hold any grudges, because I do have those.
Some grudges.
But the one grudge and a one grudgy feeling towards somebody who's holding a grudge against me.
I guess it qualifies as holding grudges.
Yeah, not really. It's just like, well, it's like a half a grudge. If you can grade grudges.
Is there such a thing as half a grudge? Like
It's a half a
grudge
grudge.
scale from 0 to 10. It's like
It's a 5 or even a 4.
But then the corporate example is
Oh yeah,
probably more.
that's like a 8, 9.
All right,
Yeah.
well then.
Okay, so tell me about your grudges.
Yeah, no, so as I mentioned, my specific case is mostly against people, organizations, and other beings that
Yeah.
I'm the opinion of, right? Because there's no objectiveness ever, we think about it, because two people might have an opposing opinion on the same topic. But where I believe it's quite objective that person, organization, whatever, treats other people unfairly
Yeah.
or mean or tries to actively hurt them.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of grinds my gears.
Yeah.
That's what gets me going, gets
Yeah.
me started. And yeah, I have to say, I might have an inflated sense of quote unquote justice, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And so that means in particular, when someone is trying to go against me or someone that's close to me,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a chance to retaliate, to stop the other person, let's go this way,
Mm-hmm.
I will go for it.
Okay.
And it's definitely something where you might argue that's not a good thing. Absolutely. And it's not a good thing to hold grudges in general.
Mm-hmm.
And that's definitely something where I need to maybe work on myself and learn to let go, become better. But it's just like something that just like, there's something in me that tells me, look, if that person treats others the way he or she treats other people, that needs to be stopped.
Yeah.
There needs to be like a, how do you say, Denkzettel in English, like a reminder
Yeah.
that that's not how you treat people.
Treat people, absolutely. But I mean, I'm just thinking, because it sounds to me like your grudges are very much triggered by a sense of injustice, right?
Absolutely.
Whether it's injustice against you or
Yes.
injustice against other people
Yes.
that you care about.
Yes.
And that then triggers this feeling in you that you want to exact justice, right? Whether it's maybe a little bit of a revenge is maybe a strong word, but sort
and
of
also like who am I to be the one to judge, right? You might say, right? So it's like that's what gives me
what gives you the moral high ground.
The moral
to
high
judge,
ground,
right?
exactly,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's definitely something where I say, okay.
But sometimes there is a moral high ground.
Well, yes. I mean, that's the thing, right? I want to believe, at least, that I'm not just.
I mean, you're a good person, and you've got morals and ethics, and you treat people well. So, and there are others who cannot claim to have that moral high ground. I don't even think that they would say that about themselves. I think in the wee hours of the morning, they probably know that they're total
assholes.
Yeah, dickheads, manipulators, etc. You know, that they abuse people. You know, so I don't think that everybody is inherently good. And I think that there are plenty of people out there that will manipulate and use others and use any kind of situation to their advantage. So I wonder, I mean, I'm just wondering if from an evolutionary point of view, maybe there's something good about holding grudges.
I mean, certainly if someone steals your kettle, and then you don't put that person put some back into place.
There's no consequence.
There's no consequences.
Yeah.
And that might happen again. So
exactly.
I'm sure there's some sort of evolutionary reason why we hold grudges, right?
Yeah. I never thought about that before.
And there's probably a good reason why we do that.
Yeah. Because it speaks to justice, right? And morality.
But as you said in the beginning of the conversation, in most cases, it's you who's being affected by the grudge and not the other person. So it's quite, I don't say nonsensical, but it's just something that drains your energy. That's an emotional strain. And so in most cases, it's not very useful to hold
not very helpful. Yeah.
So maybe that if there's a grudge and you don't act on it, then that's actually a waste of time. Because if you act on it, at least then you're trying to.
That just then perpetuates the cycle, right? Well, because then you trigger that grudge or that sense of seeking revenge in the other person. So, I mean, you know, I think one can very quickly get into a very negative spiral.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that there are degrees of grudges. You know, a little emotional grudge is very different to a sense of
deep-rooted hate almost, right?
yeah,
Or
deep-rooted
hatred.
hatred, or where you
Hatred, yeah.
feel like you are justified in exacting revenge, which we see all over the world in various different scenarios, in global politics, etc. So I don't think that that's helpful. And I think that that's just like, it really is just a further extreme version of that. And maybe this goes back to the beginning where we were talking about me sort of feeling slightly grudgy towards somebody that I felt held a grudge against me. And actually, I do think that if we could have sat down face to face and spoken about it, you know, it would have also given us each an opportunity to express what was going on, what we thought, and to make reparations and to repair the relationship. And I think that we could have done that. But instead, there was this sort of, we never got that opportunity. And so now it sort of hangs there, right? And not that there's any thought of any kind of revenge or any kind of bear poking or anything. It's just sort of floats in the back of my mind whenever I think about that person, you know. So, but I think to the extreme, it,
Yeah, it can be damaging to
can
your
be
mental health,
applied
right?
to,
If you hold it for too long.
yeah.
But my question would be, because I recently had a discussion with a friend of a person that I currently hold a grudge
Yeah,
against,
yeah,
and she told me, look, it's you know, that's not good, and you should just let it go. And it doesn't help anyone that you're holding this grudge.
yeah,
And I said, well, wait a second. If I'm being mistreated
yeah,
here,
absolutely,
and if other people try to harm me,
yeah,
you know, then why should I be the one to turn the other cheek, so to speak, right?
absolutely. So that's also not helpful, right? But once again, you know, there's two sides to that story, right? And
So what would you say one could do in a situation like that, where let's assume there clearly is a reason why being grudgy is justified, right? And maybe let's even say the other person is not stopping
yeah,
causing
more
harm,
harm, yeah.
or whatever it might be. I mean, there's something in me that just tells me it would be also wrong to just say, well, you know, it's gonna be fine, right?
Yeah, and
just
just
let
sort
it
of
go,
turn the other
right?
cheek and just, yeah, it's a very passive sort of position in your life, right?
In particular, if the other person is continuing with that
Oh
behavior.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So what should one do in that situation?
Go legal. What else can you do?
Well, it depends on the situation. There's
Depends what the situation is, right?
certain situations where it's not about taking it to court. It's about maybe an interpersonal grudge
Oh,
or something which doesn't have any legal consequences. So yes, that might be something, right?
yeah,
And in my case, recently, as we've seen,
yeah,
it turned out to be a very good and efficient solution to the problem.
yeah,
Although I don't think it's the end of the problem. I think it's just gonna, as you said,
Yeah.
start a new cycle.
yeah.
But at least I kept the moral high ground and I kept the legal high ground for this particular round
Yeah.
or cycle.
I mean,
But-
I think what's helpful is to once again be aware of all of the emotional triggers and all of the feelings that are stirred up by these things, and to just sit with those things, because it does stir up a lot when you're being mistreated, maltreated, etc. And I think sometimes it can be helpful to try to put yourself in the other person's shoes and sort of see, okay, where is this coming from that person? You know, is this person just blatantly nasty and horrible and manipulative? And some people are, in which case I think you don't want those people in your life. and I would go to reasonable lengths to make sure that that person is not any kind of direct influence on your life in the future. And then if you can't get rid of that person, then somehow you've got to find a way to sit down and talk it through and just see if it's possible to have any kind of repair process. And maybe it isn't.
But then maybe avoidance is the best solution.
Yeah. But also sometimes to just, I mean, a grudge is also, it's about anger and it's about a sense of injustice, you know. So what is that feeling of injustice about? Like, it's obviously something that's important to you. It's something that it speaks to your values, you know. It speaks to how you think people should be treated or what you think is right and wrong. So I think to also acknowledge those underlying elements and why it triggers that sense of a situation being unfair or deeply unjust or whatever, you know, and so it speaks to your values. I think to just acknowledge that, I'm not 100% sure, and I think that those elements can be somewhat helpful in dealing with those negative emotions, you know, that are stirred up, and that feeling of having a grudge against somebody. I always feel so sorry for him.
That
when
was
he
bad.
falls. It was bad, or wasn't?
I think that was.
Is he okay?
Oh
No, what happened?
he broke off.
Oh no.
Oh no, poor you.
Got more blades.
Okay, more blades. So well, it's like that. Seems like we.
Yeah,
Right, I was still recording.
You're gonna be in the picture.
Okay.
You're controlling the camera, not me.
Okay, good. No, so it seems like we had a little drone crash here. It's still like it only likes your face. So we had a little crash here, so we'll stop it for today.
Say goodbye.
Say goodbye. Thanks for watching. Please
Let
like and
us
subscribe.
know what kind of grudges you've held and what's helped you to get over your grudges, or if anything. Anyway, thanks for watching.
Thank you. See you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.